Alexander Sterling was a titan of industry. At 45, he possessed a fortune that most nations would envy, a fleet of private jets, and a reputation for being ruthless in the boardroom. He was a man who measured the world in profit margins and calculated risks. Yet, despite the entourage of assistants and the constant applause of shareholders, Alexander lived in a fortress of solitude. He trusted no one. That paranoia was his shield, but it was also his prison. Closest to him, physically at least, was his driver, Thomas. For 8 years, Thomas had been a ghost behind the wheel. He was a man of few words, appearing every morning at 6 a.m. sharp, his uniform immaculate, his eyes focused solely on the road. He never asked for a raise, never took a sick day, and never spoke unless spoken to. But recently, Alexander noticed a change. Thomas's hands would shake slightly as he opened the door. There were dark circles under his eyes, the kind born from sleepless nights and heavy secrets. He started taking strange routes, claiming traffic, though the GPS showed clear roads. The seed of suspicion was planted during a high-stakes merger. A competitor knew a detail Alexander had only muttered to himself in the back of the car. Alexander's mind raced. Was the loyal driver actually a spy? Was the silence just a cover for treachery? The betrayal gnawed at him. He had to know. That Friday, instead of going to his penthouse, Alexander told Thomas he was staying late at the office. He watched from his tower as Thomas drove away, not in the company car, but in a rusted beat-up van he kept parked blocks away. Alexander grabbed his keys to a nondescript sedan he kept for emergencies and followed. The drive took them away from the manicured lawns of the elite district and into the heart of the industrial wasteland at the edge of the city. The streetlights here were broken, the shadows long and menacing. Thomas pulled up to a decaying warehouse with boarded-up windows. Alexander killed his engine and watched. He saw Thomas struggle to lift heavy boxes from the van, looking over his shoulder constantly, terror etched on his face. Driven by a mix of rage and curiosity, Alexander stepped out into the rain. He approached the rusting metal door where Thomas had vanished. He pushed it open. The air inside was cold and smelled of damp earth. "Thomas!" Alexander's voice boomed, echoing off the hollow walls. Thomas spun around, dropping a box. He wasn't holding stolen documents or meeting a rival. He was holding medical supplies. But it was the look in his eyes that froze Alexander. It wasn't guilt. It was sheer, unadulterated panic. "Mr. Sterling, please, don't look," Thomas begged, stepping in front of a makeshift curtain. But Alexander pushed past him,